Me right now is Florida Congresswoman, Democratic National Committee Chair, Debbie Wasserman-Schultz. Congresswoman, it's good to have you here, and
Thanks,
we can
Thomas. Good morning.
Drill down on a lot that's going on. Your colleagues in the House Democratic Caucus, they're headed to the White House to meet with the president today. What kind of strategy do you think needs to be discussed?
Well, I think what we're going to discuss is our continued support for putting a clean spending resolution on the floor immediately so that we can reopen the government, and looking ahead over the next few days now, that we have to make sure that we fight hard to get the Republicans to understand that we have to pay our nation's bills. And, I think the best example of how callous and ignorant the Republicans' actions have been is this military death benefits issue. I mean, that someone like Duncan Hunter, and I commend him for his service as well, but that someone like Duncan Hunter that doesn't understand that there are ancillary casualties of the actions they've taken to shut the government down, like the families of troops who have been killed in the line of duty. I mean, what were they thinking? They have been so narrow-minded and so extreme that they've been willing to even shut the government down and continue to insist on leaving it shut, all in the name of stopping or derailing the implementation of health care for everyone in America. These people have been elected to office, and they're acting like they were elected to their nursery school student council.
Well, let's talk about common ground and the potential to find it, because we've got your Republican colleague, Paul Ryan, writing in the Wall Street Journal today that the president is giving Congress the silent treatment. That's a shame. It could be a breakthrough to break the deadlock. Both sides should agree to common sense reforms of the country's entitlement programs and tax code. We had Senator Bernie Sanders on, Congresswoman, on our show earlier this week, predicting entitlements like Social Security are the GOP's real target here. Not just Obamacare, which is really the glitch in the CR and the continuing resolution for the government and the shutdown that we're seeing now, but how do you see the government reopening and getting a debt ceiling deal done when the list of demands potentially keeps growing?
Well, that's the problem, is that they have, the Republicans continue to put a smorgasbord of their most extreme ideas on the list of things that they're insisting on we include in any potential deal. And then, of course, not excluding, although Paul Ryan didn't mention it in his op-ed, not excluding the fact that they also want to repeal or delay Obamacare. Look, this is very simple. Democrats in the House and the Senate have voted repeatedly to just keep the government open, to adopt a clean spending resolution. Thomas, remember, we've even agreed to the spending level that the Republicans have proposed, that we oppose, because we know that it can't be my way or the highway. We have to be responsible. We have to pay the bills. We have to get the government up and running, and we have to make sure that kids can go back to their Head Start programs, that the hungry can be fed, because the USDA food that is provided to homeless shelters and to food programs is running low. We have to make sure that troops killed in the line of duty are able to have their families' death benefit paid, and the way that can all happen is the Republicans need to stop pitting those interests against one another.
But again, this all hinges,
to reopen the government.
Congresswoman, it all hinges about Obamacare and what they want to put into the CR. But I want to talk about the rollout and online health care and the exchanges that came out on October the 1st. This may not be the first time you're seeing this clip, but Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius appeared on The Daily Show on Monday night. I want to show it to everybody and get your reaction, your thoughts on the other side. Take a look.
We're going to do a challenge. I'm going to try and download every movie ever made. And you're going to try and sign up for Obamacare, and we'll see which happens first.
Okay.
How many have signed up thus far?
Fully enrolled? I can't tell you, because I don't know.
Can you run it okay? My concern is, can you run it okay? Because other things, like the VA's got huge problems, I'm concerned.
We're not running the insurance programs. You're
just running the enrollment.
That's right.
All right, so how would you respond to the messaging and the criticism that there has been about the rollout of Obamacare, the access to the exchanges, the glitches in the system that do exist, and the fact that there isn't any hard data, even though the government's not running the actual insurance exchanges, it is running the rollout and should be able to provide every curious American about the data, and certainly journalists about the data, of how many people are actually signing up, accessing Obamacare. So where is that number?
So clearly, we're 8 days in, and to be insisting on data being produced day by day for a 6-month enrollment program that is a little bit unfair. And the good news that came out of this problem, and HHS has acknowledged that there's obviously been some technological problems with the server, and but the good news out of that is that the servers were apparently designed to anticipate about 50,000 people a day going on the website and moving around, and it turns out it's been 250,000 a day. So it's very clear that there is demand, that it's also clear that they need to fix those technological bugs. I don't know any software program or app, for that matter, by any high-tech company that doesn't have bugs and fixes that need to be made in the first few days of the rollout. And so that's why in part why there's a 6-month enrollment plan.